Hello, beautiful viewers. You're welcome to Creative Art Hub. My name is Obinna Nwosu, a student of Journalism and Media Studies from the School of Mass Communication, Media and Legal Studies. This is a practical we are conducting for the department. And with me in the studio today is
Mr. Victor Angose, and I happen to be one of the instructors here at Creative Art Hub.
Thank you, Mr. Victor. It's nice having you here in our studios.
It's my pleasure.
Very well. Today we'll be discussing on the topic, skill up or stay stuck. It is a student reality check to help students learn more about skills they should get into while they study. So, sir, we have very wonderful questions here for you to ask, for you to help us with.
All right.
And one of these questions is, do you find students who actively participate in skill, who learn skill, more important than those who do theoretical work in the institution?
All right. Thank you very much for that beautiful question. And then I would say that in as much as it is important or very good for students to engage very well in the academic work, in fact, I'll always advise students to be top of their class. However, it is very, very important that students will always add to whatever knowledge they are getting from the classroom as many skills as possible. That does not mean I find those with skills more important per se,
Right.
but then I'm just emphasizing on the need for students to have skills in addition to whatever work they are doing in the classroom.
Because I see in our society today, we need more of skill acquisitions
Of course,
to add to our lives.
the society has become so dynamic. Things have changed. Most people depend not on their certificates now for livelihood,
Right.
but on what they can do, what they can produce with their hands.
Exactly. And while you were saying that, I had a very wonderful question coming up my head, and this is how has Creative Art Hub helped students move from the practical part of it to the theoretical part of their studies?
All right. Thank you very much. Very importantly, I would have to say that here at Creative Art Hub, what we do is to ensure that students bridge the gap between the theoretical stuff they do, especially in their classroom, and the practicals. For instance, here we ensure that we give students practical knowledge on skills such as photography, cinematography, videography, drone piloting, content creation, video editing, photo editing, makeup, and as many skills as possible. So that means that here is just a bridge between theory and practical. So basically, simply put, at Creative Art Hub, what we emphasize on is the skills. The essence of the program is to give students that skill, a departure from the conventional classroom work they do.
That's wonderful. From our viewers, you can listen so well from what Mr. Victor is helping us here understand, that the hub is mainly for us to learn skill that will help us equip our life outside the tertiary institution space. That's so wonderful. So, sir, in your opinion, how can creativity truly be taught in the classroom?
Wow, that's a very, very serious question there.
It is.
However, I would say that sometimes creativity is innate. Innate in the sense that everybody has an ability to be creative in them.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
So what the classroom setting does is to give you the platform to showcase it, or at least to spark it up. All right? That particular spark is what gives a student that leverage to continue to explore on what they have, all right, and bring out what they have right inside of them continuously. Okay, and of course, the fact that it's in a school environment makes it easier to not just showcase but also market whatever creativity and skills that are embedded in the student themselves.
While you were talking, I was just juggling my mind. What skill do I have to delve into that would help me outside school. You know, it's very imperative that we learn these things while we study.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, how does Creative Art Hub help students who feel they can have no talents discover themselves?
Thank you so much. At first, I'll start by saying a big thank you to the administration of Ogbonnaya Polytechnic for being so thoughtful and creating this hub, all right? Because it is actually, because most students come into the school without any knowledge whatsoever, without self-discovery or anything. They just come here, apply for one course or the other. Some don't even know the details of the course they're coming to do. But the school has already made it mandatory that every student must have to pass through the hub, Creative Art Hub. And so when you come here, it gives you an exposure, all right? That exposure to all these skills will make a hunger develop in you. That particular hunger, in any of the skill areas I've mentioned initially, will now drive you to want to know more and then develop those skills again, and again.
Mr. Victor, you have been a wonderful resource so far in the few minutes that you have been here.
It's my
And I
pleasure.
believe our viewers have learned a lot. And while you were talking, many questions were buzzing into our social media platform. Students have been asking questions, and we would love to take those questions. But before we do that, we would love to go on a short break. And when we return, it will be with Mr. Victor Chemela here in Creative Art Hub in our studios. Thank you, and don't go away. Welcome back, beautiful viewers. This remains Creative Art Hub, and I am your host, Obinna Nwosu. And with me in the studio, we have had Mr. Victor Chemela, who is a lecturer in the Creative Art Hub, who helps students learn and perfect their skills before they leave the higher institution. And so, sir, before we went on a short break, we had questions coming into our social media platform from students who want to know certain things concerning the Creative Art Hub and its creativity. And this is coming from Quincy, a student of computer science. And he is asking this question, and he said, are there examples of students in Creative Art Hub who started with little or no experience but became highly skilled?
Wow.
I think he's asking, maybe he has interest.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Quincy. Quincy.
Yes.
Whatever. Jesus Christ. Quincy, okay, thank you very much for sending in that question. I will go straight to the point. Actually, there are a number of them, a good number, because for the past few years, the hub has been in operation. We have had students come and go, and we have beautiful testimonials here and there across several departments. All right? So the truth is that there's no how somebody will pass through this place and not have skill, especially those who are serious and dedicated to work.
Exactly.
And not develop their some already have these skills before they came in, and then they are working on developing the ones they already have. Others came in tabla rasa, all right, clean slate, and then we gave them the idea and they picked it up and are working on very, very seriously. You can go to mass communication department, for instance. We have a good number of students doing media from what they have learned here, and other departments too. So there are.
That's wonderful. So Quincy, I believe your question has been thoughtfully answered, and you should start now thinking of how to get yourself involved in the Creative Art Hub and the experience that goes on there. So back to it, sir. The question that we were asking before, we would like to know, what are the biggest mistakes students make that keep them stuck instead of them growing creativity?
Okay, I think that's a very intelligent question, because most times students do not know what they do sometimes and the implications they have. First, I would say that most students are limited.
Right.
That limitation might come from their background, okay? It might also come from the mindset they have, the orientation they had before coming here. So you see that the fact that the students come from different places, different ideas, different mindsets and background, it's already a disadvantage, or for some an advantage. Okay, but for those who come from a disadvantaged background for that, I would say that when they come in here, they think, I've had one or two students ask me in class vocally, and they think they are being activists. What is the essence of learning photography? What is the essence of learning cinematography or drone piloting, as the case may be, since I'm here to study, let's say, a course like public administration, computer science, or what have you? So some of them see it as a waste of time. And then sometimes when I look at it, I just smile and say, time will tell. But then I just have to humbly address them and keep their mind on the same level before we continue, because otherwise, if they continue with that idea and mindset and then they think, it would be a problem for them. So that is one of the major mistakes I see most students make most of the time.
I believe our students are not ready, and I know you're not ready to make that mistake of getting stuck instead of growing your creativity while you are here. And so, another important question, sir.
Okay.
How is Creative Art Hub preparing students for a future that is more prevalent, where there are skills than just certificates?
Okay. Thank you very much for that beautiful question. Again, I would say, in addition to whatever certificates you are acquiring here, learn these skills. You know that some of us have been out of school for quite some time now, and I can authoritatively say that if, for instance, there are 20, 30, 100 students in a department, I will assure you that not everybody that passed from that department will eventually practice what they read in school. In fact, in today's digital world, digital skills are trending and are paying people far more than what their certificates would ordinarily have done. Okay? So here at the Hub, we give you the skills, train you, and make sure you are proficient. So we expect that when you go out, from here will emerge future content creators, even some already practicing. From here will emerge video editors, photographers, or what have you. And these are skills that are actually putting food on people's tables everywhere now in today's world. So that is what I can say about what the Hub is doing to prepare people for the future ahead of them.
Wonderful. So you who is preparing to start up that content creation or start up that skill outside school, I hope you have learned a lot from this podcast, from this interactive session between Mr. Victor and I here in the studios. And I would love to ask one second to last question, Mr. Victor. Okay. Can students start earning and building a career path while learning at the Hub?
To that question, I would say a yes and a no at the same time.
Okay.
So I would say a yes because for us here, I've seen where we have students that had or have a background on these things we teach here.
Yes.
And so what they do is to refine their skills here. And while they are doing it, they are selling their skills at the same time. Okay. Some others who are very, very passionate, we see them come in, and with that passion, we teach them, and they go out there and market their skills. All right. So they can earn from it. There are other group of students too who are kind of novices to what we are doing. And so they come in and start learning. You won't sell what is not refined.
Of course.
So we'll give them time to learn, build on, and continue to build on whatever skills they have picked in this place. Again, also, no, because there are some students that are just, for instance, let's say somebody is here to do electrical and electronics engineering, for instance. Some of them are just interested in their particular department, and so see this place as a distraction to what they are here to do. So they may not be able to really earn from what the Hub
is doing for
offers them. Yeah, so that is why I said I would say a no and a yes at the same time.
That's very smart. And I would love to say, Mr. Victor, thank you so very much for sharing these thoughts and this knowledge with us here. And I believe our students and viewers out there who are watching would have learned something very important that they would apply while they are studying here and what they will take outside the school environment when they graduate. Very last question before we conclude.
Okay.
Students without academic degree, okay, currently in school, how can they develop themselves? You know, they don't have a skill. They are focusing on what is out there. You know, how do they match up degree, skill, and then perfect their path outside school? And that will be your last question, sir.
Okay, thank you. So for students without degrees, of course, the reason why you're a student is because you don't have a degree.
Right, exactly.
Okay, so how would you now perfect both the skills we are teaching you here and the degree you came to acquire? Okay, I think it's simple, all right? With the right passion, motive, and intention, okay, you can always achieve whatever thing it is you intend to achieve, okay? Here, what I would tell you is I really advise students to do very well in their academics. Okay. I also advise students to pick skills while they are studying, all right, and work on. It just depends on your timing,
Exactly.
okay, and the way you plan yourself. So you can do the two and even more at the same time. So don't limit yourself, okay? Your human brain and body can do a lot more than you are imagining. So don't limit your chances, opportunities, because the truth is that once you leave this school environment, you may never have it this way again. That is the truth. Well, after the years you spend here in school, you discover that you will never have it like everything you have here. You will not have it again. In fact, you may have to pay more for the things we are offering you here for a lesser charge or even for free.
For free,
okay? That is justice. So while you are here, open your hands to as many skills as possible. Open your hands and mind also to the degree you came to acquire. Do not let anyone beat the other. All right? Balance your life properly. And you see that at the end of the day, you'll be very happy that you did. Okay? Yeah.
Thank you very much. And what was the watchword there? Do not limit yourself. While you are here, make sure that you are upgrading yourself skill-wise and academic-wise. It has been a wonderful moment here in the studio. I still remain Obinna Nwosu, and we had
Mr. Angusi Chemela Victor.
Mr. Angusi Chemela Victor was a wonderful guest, and we'll see you on the next one. Stay skilled up and never stay stuck.